Admiral Do-hyun sat at his desk in the Korean Space Defense Command Center, drinking his morning coffee. The large screens on the wall showed Earth's defense satellites and the regular traffic of spaceships around the planet. It was a normal day, just like any other. At least, that's what he thought. The alarm started ringing at exactly 9:15 a.m. Red lights flashed across the room. Do-hyun put down his coffee cup and stood up quickly. On the main screen, hundreds of unknown objects had appeared near Saturn. They were huge, much bigger than any human ships. "Sir," a young officer called out, "we're getting strange signals from the unknown ships. They're trying to talk to us." Do-hyun walked to the main control panel. His face showed no fear, though his heart was beating fast. "Put it on the main screen," he ordered. The screen changed, showing a creature Do-hyun had never seen before. It had gray skin, 4 eyes, and what looked like scales covering its head. When it spoke, its words were automatically translated into Korean. "People of Earth," the alien said, "we are the Rakshi Empire. Your planet now belongs to us. Surrender now, or we will destroy you. You have 24 hours to answer." The screen went black. The room was silent for a moment. Then everyone started talking at once. "Quiet," Do-hyun shouted. "Get me Intelligence Officer Jae-yun. Now." 5 minutes later, Jae-yun walked into the command center. She was carrying an old tablet computer and looked worried. "Admiral," she said, "you need to see this. When the aliens appeared, our computers started acting strange. They opened some very old files that no one knew about. Files from before we had spaceships." Do-hyun looked at the tablet. The screen showed pictures of strange ships, much more advanced than anything humans had now. The text was in an ancient language, but some parts had been translated. According to this, Jae-yun explained, humans once had powerful ships that could fight anything in space, but they were hidden away a long time ago. The files say they're still out there, waiting. Do-hyun looked at the pictures again. The ships in them looked strong enough to fight the Rakshi Empire. But where were they? And why had they been hidden? "Find out everything you can about these ships," he told Jae-yun. "We have less than 24 hours before the aliens attack. If these old ships are real, we need to find them fast." Jae-yun nodded and left quickly. Do-hyun turned back to the main screen. The alien ships were getting closer. They had already passed Saturn. Earth's modern ships and weapons wouldn't be enough to stop the Rakshi Empire. Their only hope lay in finding something that had been lost thousands of years ago. Do-hyun hoped they would find it in time. Outside the command center, the sun was shining. People walked around, doing their normal things. They didn't know yet that aliens were coming. They didn't know that Earth's future now depended on finding a fleet of ships from the ancient past. Do-hyun looked at his coffee cup. It had gone cold. He had a feeling it would be a long time before he could enjoy a peaceful morning again. Jae-yun worked quickly in the underground library of the Space Defense Command. Around her, old computers hummed as they processed the ancient files. She hadn't slept since the aliens appeared. There wasn't time for sleep now. "I found something," called Hejun, the quantum archaeologist who had joined their team. He was looking at a screen full of strange numbers. "These look like coordinates, but they're very odd." Jae-yun walked over to his desk. The numbers didn't point to any place on Earth. Instead, they pointed to somewhere inside the moon. She checked the numbers 3 times to make sure. "Could there really be something hidden inside the moon?" she asked. "There's only one way to find out," Hejun answered. He typed more commands into his computer. "Look at this. The moon has hundreds of human bases on it now, but these coordinates point to a place where no one has ever built anything." Just then, Admiral Do-hyun walked into the library. He looked tired. "The Rakshi ships have reached Mars," he said. "They've destroyed our colonies there. All of them. They did it to show us what they can do." Jae-yun showed him the coordinates. "Sir, we think we found something. Inside the moon. The old files say it's important." Do-hyun looked at the screen. How can we get there? All our moon bases are too far from that spot. There's an old mining tunnel that goes near there, Hejun said. We can use it, but we'll need special equipment to break through the last part of rock. Get whatever you need, Do-hyun ordered. We leave in 1 hour. Soon, they were in a ship heading to the moon. Through the window, Jae-yun could see Earth getting smaller. It looked peaceful from space. No one would guess that alien ships were coming to attack it. The mining tunnel was dark and empty. Their lights showed marks on the walls from old mining machines. But at the end of the tunnel, they found something strange. The wall wasn't made of moon rock. It was made of metal. This shouldn't be here, Hejun said. He touched the metal wall. Suddenly, lights appeared on it, forming words in the same ancient language they had seen before. Jae-yun's computer translated the words. Welcome, children of Earth. You have found us because you are in danger. Behind this door lies the key to your survival. Can we open it? Do-hyun asked. Hejun studied the wall. Yes, but it will take time. Maybe an hour. We don't have much time, Do-hyun said. The Rakshi will reach Earth in less than 12 hours. As they worked to open the door, Jae-yun thought about what might be behind it. The ancient files had talked about powerful ships, ships that could save Earth. But why had they been hidden? And why had their ancestors left them on the moon? The metal door made a loud sound. It was starting to open. Behind it was darkness, and a secret that had been waiting thousands of years to be found. The ancient door opened completely, revealing a vast chamber inside the moon. Do-hyun, Jae-yun, and Hejun walked inside, their lights showing metal walls that sparkled like new despite their great age. The chamber was bigger than any room they had ever seen. Look at the walls, Hejun said. This metal, it's nothing like what we use today. It's much stronger. Military historian Ta-hyun, who had joined their team at the last minute, studied the symbols on the walls. These markings suggest this place is at least 50,000 years old. But that's impossible. Humans didn't have this kind of technology back then. Suddenly, the chamber lit up by itself. Rows of lights came on, one after another, revealing something that made them all stop and stare. There, in perfect lines, stood hundreds of ships. They were beautiful, with smooth silver hulls that seemed to glow. Each one was different, but they all looked more advanced than any ship humans had built. These must be the ancient fleet, Jae-yun whispered. Her voice echoed in the huge space. Do-hyun's communicator made a sound. When he answered it, the news wasn't good. The Rakshi have destroyed our defense stations around Jupiter, the voice said. Our modern ships can't even damage their vessels. We're losing badly. How long do we have? Do-hyun asked. Maybe 6 hours before they reach Earth. Ta-hyun walked up to the closest ship. It was smaller than the others, but still impressive. These ships, she said, they're not just more advanced than our ships. They're more advanced than the Rakshi ships, too. Look at the weapon systems. They use principles we haven't even discovered yet. Can we fly them? Do-hyun asked. Hejun touched one of the ships. A door opened smoothly, as if it had been waiting for them. The systems are still working, he said. They're in perfect condition. It's like they were sealed away yesterday, not thousands of years ago. Inside the first ship, they found more surprises. The controls were marked in the same ancient language they had seen before, but somehow they could all understand them. It felt natural, like they had flown these ships before. This doesn't make sense, Jae-yun said. How do we know how to use these? Why does everything feel so familiar? Before anyone could answer, alarms started ringing. Red lights flashed through the chamber. A voice spoke from somewhere above them, speaking in their language. Warning, it said. Hostile forces approaching Earth. Beginning emergency activation sequence. All ships preparing for launch. The ancient ships started humming. Lights appeared on their hulls, and their engines began to glow. The fleet was waking up, ready to fight again after 50,000 years of sleep. I think, Du Hyun said, looking at the ships coming to life around them. We're about to find out why our ancestors left us these ships, and why they chose now to let us find them. Engineering expert Sun Mai arrived at the moon base just as the ancient ships began to power up. She had been called from Earth's main defense center because of her special skills with advanced technology. As she walked into the massive chamber, her eyes grew wide at the sight of the fleet. These ships, she said, looking at the glowing engines, they're using quantum core power. We've only dreamed about making engines like these. Hajun nodded as he worked at a control panel. The whole fleet is waking up, but we need to understand how to control them properly. Can you help? Sun Mai went straight to work. Her fingers moved quickly over the ancient controls, which responded to her touch as if they knew her. Strange symbols appeared in the air around her, showing information about the ships. This is amazing, she said. These ships aren't just weapons. They're carrying something else. Knowledge, history, everything about who we used to be. As she spoke, a large screen appeared on the chamber wall. It showed images of Earth from long ago. They saw huge cities that no one knew about, ships traveling between stars, and humans living on many different worlds. We weren't always just on Earth, Jae-yun said, watching the images. We had an empire among the stars. But why did we leave it all? The answer came from the ship's computer. Protocol 847. The Great Return, a calm voice said. Humanity chose to restart on Earth, sealing away advanced technology until it was truly needed. This fleet was left as protection, to be awakened only in times of greatest danger. Do Hyun's communicator beeped again. Admiral, a scared voice said, the Rakshi have destroyed our bases on Mars. Their main fleet will reach Earth in 3 hours. Our weapons can't stop them. We don't have much time, Du Hyun said. He looked at Sun Mai. Can we fly these ships? Sun Mai studied the controls. Yes, the ships are ready. They're even showing us how to use them. It's like they were made for us to find them today. Suddenly, the largest ship in the fleet lit up completely. Its name appeared on its side in glowing letters, Guardian of Dawn. The ship's main door opened, revealing a bridge that looked both ancient and new at the same time. That's the flagship, Tae-yeon said. According to these records, it led humanity's forces in the great wars of the past. It never lost a battle. Do-hyun walked toward the Guardian of Dawn. As he got closer, more lights came on, and the ship's engines hummed louder. Then it's time to wake it up again, he said. Earth needs its guardians now more than ever. Inside the Guardian of Dawn, Do-hyun stood on the bridge. The ship's controls glowed with a soft blue light. As he approached the captain's chair, a voice spoke. It was clear and friendly, speaking perfect Korean. Welcome, Admiral Do-hyun. The ship's artificial intelligence said. I have waited 50,000 years to meet you. Everyone on the bridge turned to look at Do-hyun. He was just as surprised as they were. How do you know my name? He asked. Your genetic pattern matches our records, the AI explained. You carry the blood of the ancient fleet commanders. This is why you were drawn to space, why you became an admiral. It is your heritage. The AI displayed a hologram showing a man who looked very much like Do-hyun. He wore a uniform similar to the markings they had seen in the hidden base. This was Admiral Han, your ancestor, the AI said. He led the fleet in the final days before the Great Sleep. He helped make the decision to hide our technology and return to Earth. But why? Jae-yun asked. Why did they give up all of this power? The AI's voice became serious. Because power without wisdom leads to destruction. Humanity was becoming too dependent on technology. They chose to start again, to grow naturally. They left us here as guardians, to wake only when Earth faced a threat it could not handle alone. Sun Mai, who was studying the ship's systems, looked up from her work. These ships have technology we can't even understand. Quantum shields, gravity weapons, Things we thought were impossible. The Rakshi will reach Earth in 2 hours, Taiyin reported, checking the sensors. Their fleet is huge. They have over 1,000 ships. Do-hyun sat in the captain's chair. As he did, the ship responded to him. Screens appeared in the air around him, showing him everything he needed to know. Somehow, he understood it all. "How many ships can we activate?" he asked the eye. "All of them," it replied. "The entire fleet stands ready. 250 ships, each one more powerful than the entire Rakshi fleet combined. They were built to protect, not to conquer." Do-hyun looked at his team. They all nodded, ready to follow his lead. The ancient blood in his veins seemed to sing with recognition. This was what he was born to do. "Then it's time," he said. "Wake the fleet. Earth needs its guardians again." The Guardian of Dawn's engines powered up fully. Throughout the lunar base, the other ships came to life. They rose from their long sleep, their hulls shining with power that humanity had forgotten it possessed. The ancient fleet rose from the moon's surface in perfect formation. The Guardian of Dawn led the way, with Do-hyun commanding from its bridge. Earth's modern satellites showed the Rakshi fleet approaching from Mars, their ships dark and threatening. "All ships report ready," Jae-yun said from her station. "The AI systems are working together. They remember how to fight as one." The Rakshi noticed the ancient fleet. Their ships slowed down, and soon their leader appeared on the main screen. The alien commander looked shocked to see Earth's new defenders. "Impossible," the Rakshi leader said. "This world has no such technology. You are primitive. Where did you get these ships?" Do-hyun stood tall. "These ships are our heritage. They were left to protect Earth. This is your only warning. Leave our solar system now." The Rakshi leader laughed. "We have 1,000 ships. You have only a few hundred. Numbers will decide this battle." "No," Sunmai said, looking at her readings. "Technology will decide it." The Rakshi attacked first. Their ships fired energy weapons that could destroy Earth's modern ships easily. But when they hit the ancient fleet's shields, nothing happened. "Quantum phase shields holding," the Guardian's AI reported. "No damage. Shall we show them our true power, Admiral?" Do-hyun nodded. "Defend Earth. But remember, we protect, we don't destroy." The ancient fleet moved with amazing speed. Their weapons were like nothing anyone had seen before. They didn't destroy the Rakshi ships. Instead, they disabled them. Gravity weapons pulled the alien ships off course. Energy fields shut down their engines. Shield breakers left them helpless. "Look at how the ships work together," Tae-yun said with wonder. "Every move is perfect. They're not just fighting. They're dancing." The Rakshi tried to fight back, but they couldn't touch the ancient fleet. Their weapons were useless against the quantum shields. Their fastest ships couldn't escape the gravity weapons. In just 30 minutes, half of the Rakshi fleet was disabled. They floated in space, unable to fight or run. The Rakshi leader appeared on the screen again. Now he looked afraid. "What are you?" he asked. "We are Earth's guardians," Do-hyun answered. "We have always been here, waiting. We don't want to fight, but we will always protect our home." The remaining Rakshi ships started to turn around. They had come expecting to find an easy target. Instead, they had awakened something ancient and powerful, something that had been waiting quietly, ready to defend Earth when needed. Sunmai studied the battle data on her screen. "These ships," she said softly, "they were never built for conquest. Every weapon is designed to disable, not destroy. They were made to protect younger civilizations, to give them a chance to grow." As the Rakshi fleet retreated into deep space, Jae-yun made an important discovery in the Guardian of Dawn's database. She called everyone to the main bridge to share what she had found. "Our ancestors left us more than just ships," she said, showing ancient star maps on the main screen. "They left us the truth about who we are and why they chose Earth as our sanctuary." The star maps showed hundreds of worlds where humans once lived. Earth was marked in gold, with special symbols around it that the AI translated for them. Earth was chosen as a safe place, the AI explained. A world where humanity could grow naturally, without the burden of advanced technology. The Ancient Ones knew that true wisdom comes from slow growth and learning from mistakes. But why hide everything? Sunma asked. Why make us start over? Do-hyun watched as more images appeared, showing the history of the ancient human empire. Because they saw what happens when civilizations get too powerful too quickly, he said. Like the Rakshi, they found advanced technology before they learned wisdom. The AI showed them scenes from the past. The ancient humans had been powerful, but they had also been wise. They protected younger civilizations, helped them grow, and kept the peace among the stars. Your ancestors made a brave choice, the AI said. They could have ruled the galaxy forever. Instead, they chose to let humanity grow up again, naturally. They left us here as guardians, to wake only when Earth faced a true threat. Taiyan studied the historical records. There are more facilities like this one, she said, hidden on other worlds, waiting for humanity to find them when we're ready. But are we ready now? Hajun asked. After seeing what these ships can do, can we handle this power? Do-hyun thought about how the fleet had fought. The ships could have destroyed the Rakshi easily, but instead they had only disabled the enemy vessels. The weapons were built to protect, not to destroy. Maybe that's the test, Jae-yun said. Not just finding the ships, but understanding why they were built this way. Understanding that great power must come with great wisdom. Through the bridge windows, they could see Earth shining like a blue jewel. Around it, the ancient fleet stood guard, their silver hulls reflecting the sun's light. They were beautiful and powerful, but they were also a reminder of the choice humanity had made long ago. 1 month after the Rakshi retreat, Do-hyun stood in the lunar base, looking at the ancient fleet. The ships still shone as brightly as the day they had awakened. Earth's governments had spent weeks discussing what to do with this powerful heritage. The world leaders have made their decision, Jae-yun said, walking up to join him. They want to know what you think about it. Do-hyun turned to face his team. Sunmi, Hojun, and Taeyeon were all there, waiting to hear his thoughts. They had been through so much together, discovering and awakening humanity's ancient guardians. Our ancestors were wise, Do-hyun said. They knew that power without understanding leads to problems. That's why they left us to grow on our own, with these ships as our protectors. The Guardian of Dawn's eye appeared as a soft light in the room. What is your choice, Admiral? Will you wake the rest of the ancient facilities? Take humanity back to the stars right now. Do-hyun shook his head. No, we'll follow the path our ancestors chose. Earth will continue to develop at its own pace. The fleet will remain as our guardians, protecting us while we grow. A wise choice, the AI said. But what about the knowledge in our databases? The technology that could change your world overnight? Sunmi stepped forward. We'll learn it slowly, she said, step by step, understanding each piece before moving to the next. No shortcuts. The Rakshi have spread the word about Earth's guardians, Taeyeon added. Other species will think twice before attacking us now. We have time to grow properly. Hajun looked at the star maps, showing other hidden facilities across the galaxy. And when we're ready, when we've truly earned it, we'll find the other sites. Each one will be a new chapter in humanity's story. The team walked to the Guardian of Dawn's bridge. Through its windows, they could see Earth rising over the moon's horizon. It looked peaceful, its people going about their lives, most of them still unaware of how close they had come to invasion. Our ancestors gave us 2 gifts, Jae-yun said, the fleet to protect us, and the wisdom to know how to use it properly. Do-hyun sat in the captain's chair, feeling the connection to his ancestor who had made the choice to hide this power long ago. Then let's honor both gifts, he said. We'll be Earth's guardians, watching and protecting, until the day humanity is ready to reclaim its full heritage. The ancient fleet floated silently in space, their quantum cores humming softly. They would wait as they had waited before, ready to defend Earth whenever needed. Humanity's journey to the stars would happen in its own time, in its own way, just as the ancient ones had planned.